Oh, I'm using the new camera rig. The lens that's on here is not very good in low light, but mind you, my cell phone wasn't very good in low light. It just feels crazy to be holding a camera rig this big. And what I think is kind of cool is that, you know, now I can bring you guys close into me, because my cell phone used to give me this shot. This is the only option I had with my cell phone, was me right in your face. Now I can be like, all right guys, we're just gonna like, feels like we got some breathing room now. So anyway, today I thought I would put this camera to a real world test. I haven't figured out all this ISO settings and aperture settings and stuff like that yet, but I am working on it. So it's dark outside, which is not good for the lens that I'm using, but we're gonna take this outside and do some real world filming. And it's kind of nice to actually have a proper microphone mounted to the camera. And over here on a screen just off to the side, like over here, I can see the voltmeter. So when I'm talking, I can actually take a quick glance over and see if I'm being too loud and obnoxious, or if Chrome's tone is under control. What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing over there, hiding in the dark? It's like it's my wake-up process, Dad. Just waking up. Good morning, buddy. I'm super stoked because our little homie has been sleeping in bed with me lately. Haven't ya? Either he's changing his sleeping habits and routines, or me and my little bro are now snuggle buddies, and we've never been snuggle buddies. He's not one to sleep in bed, so let's go take a peek outside. All right, it's a winter wonderland out here. Now let's play around with this thing, this ISO thing. There we go, auto face tracking on my face. I don't got my glasses on, so let's see this ISO thing. So the, whoa, it's blown out. So yeah, I had it set on automatic. So this is on automatic. Bam! That's automatic. So it's gonna set it on its own. But to me right now, the automatic looks extremely bright. Is it too bright? I'm looking at the screen over there, guys. One sec. Oh, that's not too bad. All right, so it's snowing outside. Beautiful day here in the outskirts of Vancouver. And I gotta be honest with you guys today, I'm loving this snow. What? Look at this. It's fluffy. Look at this. Like actual, real, fluffy snow. Can't make a snowball. That's extremely uncommon in Vancouver. So let's hope, run and gunning with this camera. Let me get my hands dry before I touch it again. Works out pretty good. Sorry guys, I'm watching the little screen over there, just trying to make sure these new shots look good. But it's great now because now I actually have a lens to look at. And what I found running with my cell phone for the past 2.5 years, it's impossible to look at the lens on your cell phone because the lens is super tiny and way down in the little corner, and it's impossible to make eye contact with it. The only way to make eye contact with it is to hold your phone way over there and look way past it, and you could still never get it. It still looked funny and it still looked weird. So now let's hope maybe me and you nowadays, we can make some serious eye contact. There's somebody over there doing donuts in the parking lot. And that looked like fun over there. Yeah. Anyway, guys, on that note, sorry for playing around with my camera here today. There's a lot of people out here in this parking lot. And he just smashed into the railing over there. You hear that noise? Full on just crashed. I don't know if those two trucks hit each other. Sorry for all the messing around with the camera here today. I'm just getting used to the new rig and the new tripod and everything else. But while we're here outside in the snow, I want to talk to you guys about living in my van in the snow this winter, because we've actually had winter. I've been super warm inside. I'm using an Olympian Wave 3 heater, which has been on full bore, on high, 3 days in a row, 24 hours a day. You see, CRUZ, until last night, wasn't really one to sleep in my bed. He's always wanted to sleep on the floor, so I leave the heater on. But because the weather's been like this and CRUZ has a sore leg, we've been in the van a fair amount. And when we are away from the van, we've been around it. So I've just been leaving the heater on. And this is the very first time I have ever done something like that. But the Olympian Wave 3 heater is pretty safe. You know, it doesn't need a whole lot of area around it. It doesn't get extremely hot. So I feel okay with leaving it on. In my opinion, it is an amazing heater if you want to add propane to your van. I highly suggest it. Not unless you're a baller and can afford a proper diesel heater, and or if you do the China one, so be it too. But something about that just weirds me out a little bit. I'm not sure about yeah, that's for a whole new subject. Anyway, I wanted to bring up and discuss the weight of my van build. I know a lot of people were hyper concerned when I had this big fancy build put together on chrome. It is going to be expensive on gas. You're going to destroy your gas mileage. It is unsafe to have that much weight in your van. Well, let's take a look at this. My entire van, including all of my cabinets, is probably about 5 sheets of wood, maybe 4, which isn't that much. Like a sheet of plywood's like 50 pounds. So I think there's like 4 sheets in there. And remember, this is a cargo van. This thing is meant to be hauling weight all the time. My old day job I used to haul around about 1,500 pounds worth of chemical in my van on a daily basis. And it got about the same gas mileage as this van. So on my beginning van build, when I just had my home furnishings, my gas consumption today is about the same. I haven't noticed any difference. So upon discussing weight of your van build, there's a difference between putting, 4 or 5 sheets of plywood into your van build versus doing like massive, huge, like 100-liter water storage tanks and stuff like that. That is where the build gets a bit excessive. I have no problems with my van build. And believe it or not, having this extra weight has been amazing in this weather. If it wasn't for the weight today, I wouldn't be bombing around in this and having a total blast. Because I know last year, me and my daughter went up to Mount Seymour. It snowed like this much. I'm talking like this much. And I had to get people to help push my van. Because the problem with it is that there was no weight in the back, making the ass end super light. And on a rear-wheel drive, this thing would just like spin out all the time. But now that I have all this weight in my van, I'm bombing around like there is no snow at all. So I wouldn't over sweat the weight of your van build. I wouldn't overthink that side of things. And I think people, prior to getting into the van, they overthink everything. They're like, oh, well, that's too heavy. Think about the vehicle you're putting it into. Think about your minivan that's meant to be hauling 6 people, right? You got 2 200-pound adults in the front seat, and you got a couple of like 400 pounds of kids in the back. How much weight is that? more than the van build you're putting inside of your van, and that's probably the dead truth. So right now, for the amount of weight I have in the back, that's just like putting a big bro in my front seat. It's not that much. And people forget to put that into perspective too. Whew, I gotta go get some gloves, one sec. My hands are getting just a little bit on the chilly side. But people forget to put things in that kind of perspective. They're always thinking weight. But they forget to think that, hey, we haul people in these vehicles normally without living in it. Like you'd be hauling your family and your friends. You never sweat that when two of your 250-pound buddies are like, yo, let's go get some beers. You're like, no, I can't take you guys because I'm gonna wreck my gas consumption. You don't think that way, do you? Do you? Probably not. So think about that when it comes to your van build, guys. Don't sweat it too much. Anyway, it's getting chilly out here. Just wanted to make a quick video today because I've got a bit of a day today, and I wanted to just get a video out this morning, get it finished, and give this new camera a try in a low light situation. Because the lens that's on here is got Canon 10 to 18 right now. See, nice and wide, nice and close. But it's a 10 to 18 millimeter, and still learning this stuff. The aperture is very high, meaning it doesn't let in a lot of light. So if I were to remove this light from the situation, it's horrible. And if I crank up the ISOs too much, what I find on here, I'm just looking at my screen, the ISOs are pretty high right now, but if I crank the ISO up too much, it starts to like blow out the image and make it super grainy. Who knows, this might be an absolute horrible shot. But right now with my eye on that lens, I got no glasses on, looks pretty good. Thanks for being patient with me in this little experiment with the new camera. I'm gonna go now because my microphone has got snow on the top of it. Just an experiment. Can you hear all that tinkering? All right. Pack up my little light. Here's a little light that I've got. And it's pretty cool because I can adjust the warmth of it. So if I want it like a nice warm color, ooh, look at that. Nice neutral or super blue. Pretty cool. These from Amazon. I like this one because it's a nice washed out color. The other lights I had were, well, super bright. Anyway, I need my glasses. We're gonna flip this back to automatic on the ISO. Sorry guys, I know this stuff doesn't mean anything to you, but I'm just experimenting. Anyway, you guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoy what we do here, come on over and see us on Patreon. We'd love to have you over there to join the extended family here on Van City Van Life. Whatever you guys do, don't overthink your van life. Don't overthink winters in the van because they're not that bad. As long as your heater is appropriately sized for the temperature that you're in, you're good to go. So what I know about the Olympian Wave 3 is it's good up to minus 10 degrees Celsius. After that, the Olympian Wave 6 should be your next option. All right, now we're gonna go. Now we done. Will someone answer that phone? Okay, guys. We out of here. Oh, look at this stuff. This is deep. It's at least a foot. Oh. I promise you guys, this will be the last time in any video we talk about ISO settings and stuff like that. And everything else. Just like, it's my first time using the camera, so we're learning, kids, we're learning. And I'm sure as we continue to film and the deeper we get into the camera, the better the image is gonna look, because the more I'll know how to use this ISO stuff. I don't know, all confusing to me. See you soon.